Morning friends, happy Wednesday, how are you doing? Let's cleanse the timeline, let's have some nice, relatable, happy, well-adjusted, hard-working, charitable people, these two on our timeline, and get rid of the Andrew stuff for 10 minutes. The Mail's got it wrong. I think anywhere that Harry and Meghan turn up, fans, football fans, any type of fans, they actually appreciate it. The media spotlight shines on their team. Everyone's happy. But of course, the Daily Mail have to find the smallest thing to criticise Harry and Meghan about, because guess what? They don't want us to look at the non-working, taxpayer-funded, lazy royal family who literally are hiding away because they think the Andrew scandal is going to die down. They're like ostriches that bury their heads in the sand. They think this is all going to blow away and they'll remain in their multi-million-pound mansions. Well, it's not. If these two people ever came back to the UK and worked for the royal family, it might have a chance of succeeding. But I'm afraid anyone that likes Harry and Meghan in any way whatsoever wants them to stay in America and have a nice life. Comments are open as ever. Let me know what you think.
I think that there was celebration and euphoria even when Harry and Meghan got engaged. I think, you know, the nation, we had a day off, we had a bank holiday, there were street parties. I was in Windsor, it was my birthday on the day they got married. It's a beautiful sunny day. Everyone was hugely celebrating and thinking that Meghan and Harry was a real kind of 21st century marriage. It was a breath of fresh air. As a career woman myself, I was delighted that someone was marrying into the royal family, someone, you know, of mixed race heritage, a career woman, opinionated. I think that perhaps in those very positive attributes, therein perhaps lies some of the issues. Here is a very intelligent, liberal, opinionated, left-wing, you know, some would say, woman American who
joining the most conservative institution on earth. Virtually.
Exactly. And a family firm. It's really tough marrying into the royal family. I mean, it's tough enough being born into it. I think it's very tough marrying into it. And I think that she perhaps she said herself that she didn't realise how tough it would be, and she wanted to hit the ground running. And I think perhaps she moved a little too fast.
Operating in a silo, that they weren't consulting the Queen, and that they didn't think that they had a future within the family. My perception of actual palace behaviour, and bear in mind I'm probably closer to this story than anybody here, and I speak to the people that I speak to, and I know people who are very close to it indeed, is I haven't heard any semblance of racism in the tone that is being expressed against Meghan. Now, has there been a degree of anti-Americanism? Yes. Has there been a degree of
So guys, this is going to be the full video of this clip that I posted weeks ago of my series about the years before Oprah. I know a lot of you aren't on YouTube, and I know a lot of you are interested in seeing the full video of that clip, so I want to give you guys a chance to be able to view that. So let's get into that video now, the full video. So this is going to be a series about the years before the Oprah interview and then the beginning of the unraveling. And then by the end of the series, most of you will remember that a lot of what Meghan and Harry has done recently has just been a reaction to everything else that came before. So to start this series off, let's start with the family. This was the very first, and let me move myself over. This is the very first interview that Samantha gave condemning her sister, Meghan. Now, the UK media would just lead you to believe that Meghan and Harry just one day woke up and just trashed their family. We're going to prove how much that is a lie. Starting with this lady right here, Samantha Markle, and her jealous self. So at the end of October 2016 is when Meghan and Harry's relationship was leaked to the press. Immediately, Samantha did this interview with Radar Online, just destroying her sister. And it kind of is a catalyst for all of the conspiracy theories that we see. Actually, it was a catalyst for all the conspiracy theories that we see online about Meghan. Now, this is an article that Samantha did with the Daily Mail right after the Radar Online article, and it goes much more in depth about the family. And mind you, see the word narcissistic? That is the first time that word is used, and it will forever stick with Meghan amongst the social media world. What is great about going back to a lot of these articles is that you get a way more organic picture about the family dynamic and the fact that Thomas Markle filed bankruptcy a month before Meghan and Harry's relationship was leaked to the press. Not a coincidence. Mind you, the Daily Mail, a month later after the November article, would do a whole exclusive with more family members, but they would be speaking out against Samantha. And in this article, everyone who speaks out against Samantha is her mother, Rosalind, Scott, her ex-husband, and Thomas Markle Jr. Now, in this article, even Samantha's own mother, Rosalind, has spoken nothing but great things about Meghan. And where did she hear from? Thomas Markle Jr., which is such a far contrast to what Thomas Markle Jr. says about her now, but we'll get into that later. This article also have statements from Samantha's ex-husband, Scott, and in it, he said he disagrees with Samantha's former comments stating that she helped raise Meghan. No, according to her ex-husband, Samantha left her family once Meghan was born. She distanced herself. Samantha's ex-husband, Scott, will go into further details, explaining how she would even complain to him about Meghan and how she was upset that Thomas Markle, the father, was helping Meghan with her career and not her. This is where it gets juicy. So Samantha, after 2016, will go on a slew of other interviews. She will one minute she will praise Meghan, the next she'll criticize her. But when she criticized her, she would just say, "Did you see me speak on it? Did you see me talk about it? The media lied." This article right here, this is where things get really interesting. Because in this article, it's like a mudslinging. Because in this article, Samantha is saying her family was racist against Meghan and Doria. But the other family members are saying, no, Samantha, you were racist against Doria. And even Meghan, maybe. Samantha reveals that she will fight against her racist family for making slurs against Doria when her and Thomas Sr. got together and was married. In this same article, Samantha's own mother would reveal that Samantha would tell her own friends that Doria, her stepmother, was the maid. It doesn't surprise me because years later, actually very recently, the same Thomas Markle Jr. who's defending Meghan all those years before he turned was in blackface on his YouTube channel. So as you guys know, the rest is history. Samantha would continue on to do these interviews for money. And then at some point after the wedding is when everything gets in line and in focus. Because what people don't remember is that Thomas Markle Sr. did an entire interview literally a month after the wedding. And that's how all of this unraveling began. So my point with this was to show is that a lot of what people don't realize that there were a lot of stuff leading up to why Meghan and Harry did what they have done recently. And also to show the Markle family, some ain't clean in the buttermilk. Because at some point they all was mud-slinking at each other. But they stopped and got in line when them checks cleared.
Prince Andrew has reportedly been offered free use of a vast royal palace in the United Arab Emirates. According to The Sun, the proposal was made by the President of the UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to show gratitude for the prince's kindness when he was the UK's international business envoy. An anonymous source told The Sun that Abu Dhabi's royal family have made it clear to Andrew that the palace is his if he wants it. It gives him an option should his position in the UK become untenable. Andrew will be afforded every luxury if he makes the move to the UAE. The offer comes after it was revealed that Andrew hadn't paid rent on his mansion in the Windsor estate for more than 2 decades.
Message? Oh, from Michelle. How very amusing. So we like to watch it together?
Yes.
Let's have a look.
Hey, Prince Harry, remember when you told us to bring it at the Invictus games?
Careful what you wish for. Boom.
Oh, really? Please.
Boom.
I think the biggest pressure for me was wanting to ask her but not wanting to put pressure on her. She is my boss. She's all of our bosses. She's the head of the armed forces. And it seemed appropriate 4 years after her helicopter exit at the Olympics that it was the right timing. And if you've got the ability to be able to ask the Queen to up one on the Americans, then why not? What I had to explain to her was the previous challenge that I'd given to the First Lady when I was in Washington. So that was where the whole thing started. She asked whether we were going to bring it. I said yes. Were they going to bring it? And then she ended up dragging the president in on something that was quite personal between the two of us. And that was there was no way that I was going to come to America 15 love down to the Americans. So naturally I was going to drag the Queen into it and say, you know, do you want to be part of this? And she was more than happy to oblige, and I hope that everybody enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it, and I know she did as well.
The mistress of the Raya side, but also highly competitive internationally.
Yes, of course, highly competitive. But for those people who are asking what was that all about, there was no one else that I can think of that was going to top the President and the First Lady of the United States of America. So it was an easy thing for me to sit there and go, right, well, this has to be the Queen, otherwise we lose. Simple as that.
Well, let's talk about the Invictus Games, because this originated in a momentary light bulb moment you had, as it were, in a plane coming back from Afghanistan during your first tour, and I think you were feeling a bit down at the time.
I was, that's right. I was feeling very down. I think the best way to explain it to people is, you know, I was an officer. I'd been training for 3 years, training with a select group of guys. We were a tight-knit team. I'd already been told I wasn't allowed to go to Iraq, but I was allowed to go to Afghanistan. Let's not get into that. But you know, the training had been done. We gelled together, and I was out there with the guys. And to be taken away from your team, not knowing what was going to happen to them and whether you were going to be indirectly responsible was a huge thing. It was something that I had to swallow. You know, once on that plane heading back with 3 wounded British soldiers who were wrapped up in plastic with tubes coming out of their mouth and out of their arms, all in induced comas. One of the guys had a test tube filled with shrapnel that had been removed from his head that he was clutching while asleep. And you know, I just spent a few minutes there just sitting with them and unable to speak to them, obviously. But that was a real turning point in my life. You know, not being Captain Wales, but being Prince Harry at the time, I was thinking there needs to be something here. And it was only 2012, after hearing about the Warrior Games, being able to see it, and doing my second tour, that I actually realised sport plays a huge part in the rehabilitation of so many people. This surely is a magical thing.
Let me ask you about monarchy and royalty itself. You can pick up a cause, popular or unpopular, and make it front page news. And you can choose those causes and change people's lives for the better, which is what these games are all about. To what extent is this really the heritage of your mother? She was the first person in many ways to start to pick up some of these less popular, more difficult causes.
To me, I don't think it's an unpopular cause as such. I think it's something that needed a spotlight shone on it, and to prove that these individuals, or not that they don't want to be defined by their injuries, they want to be defined as human beings, as the person that they originally were, here and mentally and physically. And I think all we've done is create this sporting platform where they can be in their element, and it's literally lives being changed there and then. So with regard to the question to my mother, I think it's not a sensitive subject. This is not about landmines, let's say. This is more about 15 different nations of individuals that need rehabilitation. They need curing. They need fixing, and they're the ones doing this. And we get to have the opportunity to be there and create this atmosphere and help them on that road.
Looking ahead, let me chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have
Selfies.
A private life?
Cheeky question. You're right, that is a cheeky question. But Andrew, to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymore, and we will continue to do our best to ensure that there is the line. We are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really matter to me, and I hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. It's unnecessary. You know, I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, you know, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing. But the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
Did you guys know that before we called Karens, they actually went by another name in the antebellum era, and it was basically just like coded wording for enslaved people to talk about this archetype of being, and they called them a Miss Anne. So basically bitches like this been existing and been horrible for like the longest.
I was getting paid $22,000, and the guy who I was co-anchoring with was getting paid $50,000. So I went into my boss and I said, he's getting paid a lot more money than I'm getting paid. And you know what my boss said? Why should you make that much money? In 1980, he said, why should you make that much money? He said, he has kids. Do you have kids? And I said, no.
I cook for 5 and you cook.
Do you have a house? And I said, no. And he said, so tell me why you need the same amount of money. And I said, well, because we're doing the same job. He says, I don't think so. And so I thought, I'll show you. We became a syndicated show in 1986. So I went into the bosses and I said, my team, they need to make more money. And the boss at the time said, why? They're all girls. That moment in the office, that was a deciding factor for me. I came back and said, look, I want to own my own show, and I want to take the risk of owning my own show so that I will be the one to say who gets what paycheck.
See all those salami?
All right, thank you, brother.
Those salami taste good.
Where's the hot bread at?
Hot bread, that's what I'm asking her. She's gonna come. She says sekundu. Sekundu, she's gonna be here. Sekundu, you're gonna be speaking русский язык. Секунду по-русски. Скажи по-русски.
Maybe.
No, that's French. You just say oui, French. Хотим хлеб. Горячий у вас есть? Это горячий? Да, конечно, да. А нам тоже нужна колбаса для бутерброда. Я не знаю, у вас есть российская колбаса? Есть у вас? Московская тоже есть. Окей. Хорошо. Я что-то соскучила при колбаса, что-то не ела я колбасу, да. Много дней. Да, мы еще помнили. Да, вы мне помнили, да. Спасибо. Да, это я. Да, спасибо. Да. А это-то какая? Вот салами-то. Это откуда?
Это тоже московская.
Какая вкусная для бутерброда. Так, я хочу вообще класс. Да. А какая лучше вам? Это? Да, давайте. Да, я хочу помягче.
Хорошо. Сколько?
Все, сколько это будет?
$32
Да, давайте. А сыр тоже есть у вас вкусный?
Сыр, да.
Ага.
русское.
Это российское?
Да.
Ага. Да. Вот это тоже нам нужно. А как это не хорошо выглядит? Что с ним? Что случилось с этого?
А это слой я уберу, потом могу дать.
Да, но это не хочу. Я хочу вот этот, который хорошо
А
выглядит.
такое тоже самое.
Такое
Это
тоже
мало.
вкусный, да. Давайте вот это вместе.
Это.
Угу. So you wanna eat like a real бутерброд по-русски. You gonna be smelling like a Russian boy today. Before I'm done with you, you're gonna be Russian. You're gonna be speaking русский язык.
Alright. Hey, this is for the crouton.
Yeah, that's the crouton. Yeah, that's the bread.
What kind?
That's just European bread. That's the bread that we make sandwiches. That's like sandwich bread. This is what you make sandwich with. So you put this one here, kalbasa. You put this one here with that cheese on it. Baby, you're moving to Europe. Before you know, you be speaking Ruski язык. She's laughing. Before we're done with you here, you're gonna be speaking Ruski язык. Yeah.
Pate bacon?
No, это все. Да. А эти сосиски-то какие? Это польские.
Да,
Они,
польские очень...
они вкусные. Да. Может быть, только две, чтобы попробовать. Это надо только вот так купить или как? А это... Давайте 4.
What are we getting?
Да. А эти сарделки как российские? А. Ну давайте попробуем, и потом будем купить. Да, вообще вкусно, хороший, да? Да. Очень вкусно пахнет. Вообще очень хорошо. Smells really good.
Yeah.
Delicious. Yeah, you should have smelled that.
I will.
You should have smelled that. That thing smells so good. You know? Chocolate.
У нас пирожные хорошие, пирожки.
А где они? Они горячие еще или?
Это утром сделано.
Сделано.
Российские.
А что-то блины нет у вас?
Вот это с капустой.
Да.
Это мясо.
С мясом.
А это cabbage.
Ага.
Potato. А вот это apple.
Нет, давайте это с мясом
С
попробуем.
мясом?
Да.
Сколько штук? 2-3.
Штук, только один, давайте попробуем. Не этого, вот второй. Который вот хорошо выглядит, не знаю почему. What? Looks good, huh?
Yeah.
А вода есть у вас?
Да, вот в холодильнике там.
Go grab
I already
water.
got it.
Go grab water. Oh, you got it? Oh, okay. What? Сейчас посмотрим, сколько это будет. Это $100. You want to know how much European stuff costs? You'll see the price now. So that sausage is $32.
A lot of sausage though.
It's a lot of sausage, yeah. But we're gonna get people. So you buy two stuff in the European stores, and before you know, you're paying all your entire money. So that's why you all need to stick by King Supers and Safeway. That's so cool, huh? Safeway and King Supers. Did you see those sweets? Всем сегодня один, да.
Очень вкусные.
А какие это?
Вот корзиночки есть.
Посмотрим, как это. Да, это вообще так классно выглядит. Да, давайте это. Да. That's so cute, huh? Let's buy that one for Dad.
Okay.
He likes the sweets. So Dad, we're gonna hook you up with this one here. With some sweet stuff. It looks cute, huh?
That's really cool.
Yeah.